ridiculously massive weapons.
Wanker.
And if you think that face was terrible, wait until you see what they've done to her in Fable 4. That's right, folks. There's meant to be an improved character version of the now delayed Fable game from Microsoft Studios and Playground Games. You know, the folks who've made the award-winning, critically acclaimed Forza Horizon series. But I'll get into that much later on in this video today, because quite honestly and quite laughably, Fable 4 has now been delayed until 2026. And you know what I say about that? I don't think it's even going to get there. I think they're going to cancel it before it gets to the release date. I think something bad is going to happen. You know, speculation. Tinfoil hat a conspiracy right here.
You know what old Jack Burton always says at a time like this?
Who?
Jack Burton. Me.
They hunted him down. They murdered his friends. And they took the only thing he would kill for.
You know this guy?
Yeah, but I'm not proud of it.
If it's a mission no man can survive, he's the man for the job.
Kung Fu Hot Dog.
Fuck you, asshole.
So watch out for him and his babes of the 1980s. Hail to the Jason King, baby.
It's all in the reflexes.
And courtesy of the Evening Standard and Saqib Shah, a freelance writer, don't you know? And I checked out his history very quickly. He seems like a sound and sensible guy. I haven't found anything weird about him, but you never know. But Fable reboot delayed to 2026 as Xbox promises the ultimate vision of Albion, not Albion Market, that once forgotten television series of yore. The Headbox, but it could be actually, the epic RPG's in-game world is the most beautiful yet. Because again, I harken back to the Horizon series from Playground Games. They have made beautiful environments. I'm hoping the next Horizon game is actually set in Japan, although the excuses I'm hearing already from Playground Games, the road system in Japan is very complex. I don't know how we can manage it. Sounds a bit like why Ubisoft couldn't get off the bloody ground 15 years ago and make a Assassin's Creed game set in Japan. It would have been much, much better then. So Fable is being pushed back. The witty and whimsical fantasy role-playing game is one of the most highly anticipated releases for Microsoft's console and its Netflix-style Game Pass service. Okay, so we know all that already, and a guy called Craig Duncan, during the latest episode of the Xbox podcast, made this announcement. I'm going to show you that podcast in a minute, actually. Mr. Duncan spoke highly of Playground Games' vision for Albion, Fable's eccentric take on England, a bucolic in-game world teeming with hapless locals and banditos. It's quite frankly the most beautifully realized version of Albion you've ever seen. Now, I've got to pump the brakes here yet again, folks, because remember, when I mentioned the Forza Horizon video games, what you know them for are not just how beautiful the licensed car models are, but the environments are absolutely breathtaking, especially Forza Horizon 3, which I believe was set in Australia. That is absolutely fantastic. What I'm saying is, folks, that those games are just beautifully just incredible, like, because they use real world cinematography and photographic reproductions to translate into computer graphics. So that's kind of the reason why I like all those particular things. Now, the reason why Lionhead Studios closed down, because you're probably wondering what the hell happened. Why aren't they making this fourth entry for Microsoft, or the rear entry, I should say? Well, quite simply, Phil Spencer and co. asked Lionhead Studios to make them a free-to-play game. And guess what happened? $100 million later, they couldn't produce anything. So Lionhead and Microsoft, blaming each other in the process, both decided to part ways amicably. Well, I'm just sprucing a bit of fairy dust all over that scenario because we know nothing ever ends amicably with Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond.
My name is Sarah Bond. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the head of ecosystem for...
So with them out of the way, who were they turning to? Which studio with the biggest pedigree of award-winning excellence could come forward and bring you a new Fable story like you've never seen before? Enter the realm of Playground Games. And here we are, folks, where, by the way, that ratioed trailer for the first game has been annihilated. So here's the podcast with Craig Duncan, and this is kind of a painful thing to watch, actually, because you can see he's actually a bit nervous. And I'll tell you what, the likes to dislikes here, I tell you, they are kind of creeping up, man. Yes, 2,500 likes is pretty good, but 803 dislikes, it's still quite bad. You know, it's not a good fit for Xbox. I've actually written down here, if my comment is still here, no, it's not. It's probably on the other trailer that we'll look at in a minute. But let's have a listen to this, about what Mr. Duncan says.
Really excited where Playground are. We previously announced the date for Fable as 2025. We are actually going to give Fable more time, and it's going to ship in 2026 now. While I know that's not maybe the news people want to hear, what I want to assure people of is that it's definitely worth the wait. Yeah, I have unequivocal confidence in the Playground team. If you think about their history and legacy for Forza Horizon, you know, last two games critically acclaimed, 92 Metacritic, award-winning, beautiful, played great. And
I've already mentioned these points, by the way.
Fable as a friend, the community to understand that, you know, we do these things for the best of the games and the teams.
For the breast of the games, because that's quite an ominous catchphrase.
Or the best game for the community.
I think from your visit, you actually managed to bring over some footage for us to see some of those beautiful visuals as well.
Yeah.
And what a tenuous link, folks, because I'm going to bring you those beautiful visuals right now. Why is this suddenly... Is this 4K? Wow, that is pixelated as shit, man. Come on, let's refresh that again. Oh my god. Pre-alpha footage. I need to remind you, folks, Playground Games have been watching and working on Fable 4 for 8 years. 8 years. That is absolutely terrible, by the way. I have to be very critical about this. This is not good. If you're working on this game for 8 years and you're coming out with stuttering choreography that quite honestly will put even the worst all-led female action movie like the 355 to absolute shame. Kick the chicken? That's it. Nothing about this gives me any hope. I mean, if you've been working on this for 8 years, and look at this female protagonist right here. Again, the actress who plays her, not the kind of woman I would date in real life, but, you know, she's a lot more attractive than this monstrosity right here. And the one common thing that I always see in a lot of threads, and in fact, I did actually put it in the comment section here with my contribution, which, funny enough, has not been removed by Xbox era. Lionhead Studios were dismantled and you gave way to Playground Games, who should be working on the next Horizon title, hopefully set in Japan. Allow character customization for male, female choices, and no non-binary BS or pronouns. It's not hard, guys, and it's not. It's a common request I see because the previous Fable games, which I've not played by the way, but I am reliably informed, unless you guys want to correct me in the comment section below, that they do actually have the options to customize the characters how you want them to. But I have a funny feeling, folks, that because this is Microsoft in bed with Vanguard and BlackRock and Mr. Fink himself, old Larry Wattle, then I'm not surprised that they won't give you what you want. Again, remember, Microsoft don't want females with exaggerated features. Goodness knows if you have a large-breasted woman working at Microsoft and she's au naturel and people think, oh, she's got exaggerated features, how do you think she's going to feel? So with that in mind, this game is probably baked and cooked before its release. I don't care what anybody calls me. Oh, you're a grifter, Kung Fu. You're just joining in the rest. And quite honestly, I like to take a step back from things. I know there's been a lot of brouhaha and battling amongst people in my sphere at the moment online. I don't really give a shit about that, to be honest. I want to be the dumb guy sat in his room making videos for you all, criticizing things like this. I would like Fable 4 to be great. I really would. I mean, Richard Iowati from the IT crowd is in it. I don't know why again. Maybe he was duped or maybe he's doing it for his kid. I don't know. It's maybe one of those vainglorious, egotistical things that actors go through sometimes, so I don't really know, but I'm not mad about this character design. And again, the gameplay footage, folks, looks absolutely horrible. This is pre-alpha. Now, we might get a reveal for Xbox Summer Showcase this year. They might show a bit more. Well, they've been working on it for 8 years, and so far this is all I have to show you. And Craig Duncan, yet again, kind of sitting nervously in front of that presenter for that Xbox podcast, like reassuring fans and reassuring Phil Spencer's probably standing behind him that they've got a really great game for you. Again, I might remind you that Playground Games don't make RPGs. They make motor racing games. You've got Turn 10 Games who make the Forza Motorsport series, which I actually like a lot more, I think, than the Horizon series. So you could have asked them, but maybe they just thought, you know what, bro, we're checked out. We don't want to do that kind of stuff. And again, the reason why I bring up the whole cars and the environmental aesthetic, because you don't really see the drivers so much in the series of Forza. It's either from a third or a first person point of view. And when you do see your avatar or what your driver looks like, it's a basic character creation, nothing special, nothing to feast your eyes on and go, whoa, that's nice. But on that one, folks, it feels good to be back in some ways. If you were me and if I were you, you should definitely return for the next video.